Today, energy is life. Nearly every facet of our lives depends on it. From medical science to transportation, from communication to recreation, from domestic comforts to scientific exploration. Our utilization of energy necessitates a greater understanding of these resources, both personally and globally. Our future depends on it. For this reason, British Columbia would benefit from a provincial energy museum and interpretive center, one that will acknowledge our rich heritage in energy, while also looking ahead to provide education about the management, conservation, and diversification of a resource that so deeply influences our existence. Similar initiatives are evident elsewhere in Canada, in the United States, and around the world. Calgary's Canadian Centre for Energy Information serves the public by distributing educational material that relates to all sources of energy. Meanwhile, at the Texas Energy Museum, interactive exhibits depict the history of oil exploration, production, and refining. Here, the beginnings of the legendary Texas oil industry come alive as historical characters share their adventures. In England, the Centre for Research, Education and Training in Energy, called CREATE, motivates and educates businesses, communities, and schools to achieve more sustainable uses of energy and to reduce carbon emissions. In Australia, the Queensland Energy Museum provides a particularly good model for BC, distributing information concerning traditional and renewable energy. Now is the time to make BC's Provincial Energy Museum and Interpretive Centre a reality. Indeed, pioneers of the energy sector include Robert McMicking, who in 1883 in Victoria turned on the first commercial electric lights in Canada. In 1964, the Columbia River Treaty was ratified by both the United States and Canada and saw the construction of 3 storage dams in the Columbia Basin.
1921, Imperial Oil drilled a well on Rolla, east of Rolla. It blew there for literally years. You could see it from Fort St. John, the flame.
BC's energy pioneers of the 20th century are aging, so we need to act now to record their stories for posterity. Such pioneers include the Gething and Reschke families, who were instrumental in the development of coal mines in the Hudson's Hope area. Hudson's Hope is also home to a generation involved in the building of the W.A.C. Bennett and Peace Canyon dams. Not far away, in Fort St. John and surrounding area, are larger-than-life figures who shaped the oil and gas industry in BC in the 1950s, 60s, and 70s. These living legends include Ross H. McLean, Vic Brandel, Hubert Powell, Brian Soreris, Ken Borick, and many others. This too is the time to acknowledge a new generation of pioneers who are exploring alternative energy and technology. We are on the cutting edge of major new energy technologies and initiatives. And BC's Provincial Energy Museum and Interpretive Centre will enhance our understanding of such developments while simultaneously providing education about the wisdom of sustainability. Employing the very best in contemporary multimedia museum practices, the new facility will provide interactive displays and experiences, dramatically showcasing ongoing innovations in the energy sector. We must act now to celebrate the past and to demonstrate and implement sustainable initiatives for the future. In BC, energy and northeastern BC go hand in hand. Dams along the Peace River produce approximately 38% of the province's hydroelectric power. The W.A.C. Bennett Dam, located outside of Hudson's Hope, is among the largest earth-filled dams in the world. While the Peace Canyon Dam also contributes to the region's hydroelectric output. New forms of energy in the Peace include wind power, coal, and coal bed methane deposits, estimated at 60 trillion cubic feet. The primary component of the region's energy sector continues to be oil and gas. Stretching across the northwestern portion of the Western Canadian Sedimentary Basin, the Peace Country contains some of the richest deposits of oil and gas in North America. Vital to BC's economy, the northeastern oil and gas industry produced over $2.56 billion in provincial revenue in 2005, providing thousands of jobs within the region and throughout the province. BC's massive oil and gas industry, with all its current production and future promise, is centered in Fort St. John, the largest service center in northeastern BC. As the provincial focal point for oil and gas development, Fort St. John is also home to the BC Oil and Gas Commission and to the new Oil and Gas Centre of Excellence at Northern Lights College. Accordingly, Fort St. John is the ideal home for the new Provincial Energy Museum and Interpretive Centre. A highly visible site already exists along the Alaska Highway, a major transportation artery for over 300,000 annual tourists, 64,000 regional residents, and thriving industrial activity. Preliminary plans for the center feature an energy-efficient 3-story building that includes interpretive areas, interactive displays, a 42-seat theater, and an industry conference facility. A wind turbine, solar panels, green roof, plus ground source and geothermal heating are among the renewable energy technologies incorporated into the design. Here, at the most beautiful place on Earth, at the outset of the 21st century, our decisions, more critical than ever before, will shape the lives of future generations. BC's Provincial Energy Museum and Interpretive Centre is a big step in the right direction, marking BC's proud energy heritage and our dedication to sustainable development for future generations. What remains now is to develop that vision into a reality. Project expenses can be shared through mutually beneficial partnerships among ministries and with industry. Leadership is acknowledging the past and taking that knowledge to envisage a bright future. With cabinet support, BC's Provincial Energy Museum and Interpretive Centre, located in Fort St. John, can move forward, becoming a beacon of BC's commitment to the future. A future that glows with promise.
I live in Fort St. John. It's a great place to live. I wouldn't trade any of it for the world.
Fort St. John is the energy capital of British Columbia and a growing community in the northeast part of the province.
How energetic this city is. You just have to take a look at the people and you realize what we're all about.